You're listening to Happy Healthy Hormones with Dr. Chris. Are you tired of the short-term patch to your health problems? Is avoiding medications and surgeries important to you? If you answered yes, then your prayers have been answered. Dr. Chris has been helping people transform their health for over a decade. He's a world-renowned health expert who specializes in holistic health. He's a professional speaker, chiropractor, and international best-selling author. It's his mission to help you reach your full God-given potential through holistic health and healing. Get ready to be inspired and transformed. Here's your host, Dr. Chris.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the show where disease takes a dive and people come to thrive. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope this is going to be just the best week ever for you. I'm just going to put those good vibes out to you right now, because our listeners are the people that are movers and shakers. They're the ones that are wanting to make change. They're the ones that are trying to improve themselves. And when you think you've got it all figured out, take a real hard look in the mirror and be honest with yourself, because none of us have it all figured out, right? There are always things we can work on. There are always things that we're figuring out to improve our life, whether it be our health, our finances, our relationships, our spiritual life. There are so many things out there that we could get better at, but I don't want you to stress yourself out over it, right? I just want you to take it one day at a time. Just work towards improving yourself, work towards learning something new, and hopefully that's what we can teach you here in these episodes, to just help you shift the direction your health is headed, or just bring you back around because life got thrown at you and you got thrown off track, and man, you gained back that 30 pounds that you had lost, or those symptoms that have been gone for so long are starting to come back again, or you're just losing that energy and you just are wondering where it all went. And there's a lot of reasons for a lot of different things, but it really all stems down to these basic 5 foundations that we teach. And we go into obviously more depth each and every episode, when we talk about function, which is the nervous system, and how well your body is communicating and getting the signals it needs to heal and repair itself. And we look at food to figure out what foods can you put in your body that are going to give you the biggest impact, and then which areas are you deficient in that are going to create the biggest problems in your life. And then fitness, are you doing the right types of exercises for the goals that you have? Because if you're an Olympic athlete, it's going to be a lot different type of workout than if you're the weekend warrior, right? And just trying to maintain a level of function in your body, but giving you the best results in the quickest amount of time. And then we look at filter. That filter is huge because it's what keeps toxins out of your system and allows toxins that have made it into your body to be able to get out. So are you deliberately putting toxins into your body, or maybe you have no idea that you're putting harmful chemicals into your families, in your children's lives? And then, how do you get your body detoxing again like it's supposed to? And then we look at freedom, which is freedom in your spiritual life, your finances, your relationships, figuring out how to take those stressful situations and turn those into constructive ones instead of destructive ones. So I really want to get into it today. I want to start talking to you about why we have symptoms, because where those symptoms really manifest from is either a physical, a chemical, or an emotional stress. That's where all dis-ease comes from. Now, I didn't say disease because it's different than dis-ease versus dis-ease, which is not a normal communication and flow and optimization in your body. So when we have a disconnect, and when we have any disconnect in our body through one of the processes in the nervous system, we're going to start to have that dis-ease, which as that stays there, it starts to get manifested as symptoms or eventually a disease, right? So how do we identify that? Why do we even have symptoms? Are symptoms bad, or are they good? Should you be ignoring your symptoms? Should you go out and race to squash every symptom you have? So I'm going to answer those things today because those are really important to understand. And it's important to understand your body. And you know your body better than anyone else does. And so the better you can understand why your body is telling you certain things, the better life you're going to have, the better level of health you're going to have, and you're not going to be stressing yourself out all the time for every sniffle, cold, ache, and pain that you have. And you're going to understand that, okay, these things are good. These things are working for me, not against me. So there was a huge study done in Iceland, actually. It found that 90% of people who have heart attacks have no sign leading up to that heart attack. 90%. So I don't want you to get dependent on just basing where your health is right now in this given time based on a symptom or a lack of a symptom. Because it's one of the biggest mistakes and easiest mistakes we can make as a culture, as a person. Majority of people, they get diagnosed with stage 3 and 4 cancer, don't even have symptoms a lot of times the day they get that diagnosis. And so you can be feeling great, but understand when you do have symptoms, your body is trying to tell you something. And it might be something that you need to address and find medical attention for. And it might be a symptom that your body is doing to help you and to help you actually get better quicker. And if we actually try to suppress that symptom in that moment, it'll actually make you sicker for longer and actually create more long-term problems. So let's understand that, right? Understand that when we have those check engine lights coming in our car, that we need to address those. And if you know your car well enough, oh yeah, when I'm low on this or that check engine light comes on, not that big a deal. Or, hey, this is major crisis mode. I need to pull over and get into a shop now so my engine doesn't blow up. So people die every day from heart disease and cancer and other chronic diseases that feel and look just fine. But it really comes back down to the definition of health, which if you've heard me before, you know that the definition of health is not about how you feel or the lack of a symptom. No, it's about function. It's about how you're functioning both physically, chemically, and emotionally, not just that lack of that disease or of that symptom. So when you come down to it, respect your symptoms. If you get one thing from today, it's honor your symptoms. Don't try to squash them because your body is only trying to help you. It's never trying to hurt you. Now, the reason I say this too is because, there are times when we do have to watch our symptoms, right? And say, okay, we're having enough symptom or it's intense enough or it's in a certain area. I need to do something about it. So don't get me wrong here. But most people ignore the little guys and wait for the big one. So I had this patient, Cindy, several years ago who was coming in for care. We were helping to get her nervous system back on track. She was having like migraines and headaches and back issues. And she was overweight and we were helping her lose weight. She was doing really well. She was just, after a few months, it was like 3 months, she was doing awesome, lost a bunch of weight, back pain was better, just everything was improving. But her husband would never come in to get evaluated to see just how his body was doing, being preventative in his health. He just would always say, oh, I'm fine, although he was overweight. And he would get back pain once in a while, but he didn't think it was bad enough to really have to do anything about it. And he thought he'd just be just fine. And he'd say, I'm fine. It doesn't keep him from doing anything. I don't need to come in. I don't need to get checked. Well, about 6 months later, Cindy's husband, who felt fine, had a heart attack and put him in the hospital, almost killed him. And you think that'd be a wake-up call for him, right? But no, he decided to still not come in, still not get checked, not get his body functioning at its best, change a couple of different habits in his life, but not really all that much, and kept on doing what he was doing. And, with someone like that, their quality of life just continues to get worse. And we can do a lot of things to try to cover up the symptoms, but we're only cheating ourselves. So when I talk about covering up symptoms, we don't want to do that all the time, right? So let's get into some of the ones you don't want to cover up all the time, right? For instance, fever. Fever is a good thing. At 103, fever will start to kill bacteria. At 104 degrees, it starts to kill viruses. It's our body's natural response. It's a good thing. So we don't want to just squash that fever. They'll say, if you have a baby that has a temperature, you got to give it medications, bring that fever down. But a lot of times, that's the best thing you can do is just let it go and let the body heal itself. A cough. People take cough suppressants. But your body's doing that because it's trying to get things out of your lungs, out of your respiratory system, get them out of your body. If we keep that and suppress it in, it's going to weaken our immune system. Research shows that suppressing symptoms like cough, like fever, like the sniffles, keeps you sicker longer. It lowers your immune system, and it'll set you up for more sickness preceding or following that initial cold, flu, whatever it might be. So you're just doing yourself a disservice by taking the Dayquil, the Sudafed, the over-the-counters. I know it can be miserable sometimes, but man, it doesn't even compare once you think of the 5, 10, 20 years of constantly suppressing your symptoms until eventually it turns into a weakened immune system that's not able to take on a bigger thing like cancer, right, or some other chronic disease. Now, the other one we look at is cholesterol. When your body is high in cholesterol, it's because it's trying to heal an area of your body. It's a healing process. So you have damaged tissue or damaged area, the body will create more cholesterol, send it to that area of the body. But we'll look at high cholesterol and say, oh, no, we got to get that down. We got to be in these safe levels. When really you're creating more issues. High blood pressure. Getting blood to an area faster in a stress response, in a chemical, emotional, or even a physical situation is a good thing for us. But we'll take our blood pressure a snap in time when we're stressed, we've just taken coffee, kids are yelling at us, and we think, oh no, we need to be on a high blood pressure medication. The doctor gives you medication that's shown to create cancer, taking long-term at all. And here we are. But why do we want that? Those are good things. Remember, only 6 to 10% of your nervous system is responsible for pain. So you don't want to just go out and jump at every ache and pain. Remember, your body's working through something. It's trying to help you. It's never trying to hurt you. And understand that your body heals things in order of most importance to your survival. So as you start to do a process to start to improve your health, it's going to start to heal things like your brain or your heart or your liver before it ever heals the soft tissue, the muscles or ligaments that are actually creating the pain. Because see, those organs that it's going to heal first don't have pain receptors. So you're never going to feel that changing. Right? So it all comes back down to getting back down to the foundation of your health, working with your body, not against it. Get that foundation of your nervous system strong. It's what allows you to adapt. It's the main controller of your immune system. It's your checks and balances of your body and in your system. So make sure you're allowing that body to heal at 100%. Take care of that. You would take care of your teeth, right, on a daily basis. Why wouldn't you take care of your spine? It just makes sense. So how do you know if you are functioning and healing at 100%? We need to know what your spine looks like. You need to have x-rays because your spine is what surrounds and protects your nervous system. But keep that body functioning at 100% at all costs. And when you start to do that, you start to apply those foundations. You start to honor your symptoms, not be so quickly to run out and just squash those symptoms and work with your body through those symptoms to actually come out on top. You will be healthier. You will be stronger. You will be more resilient. You will be on track to getting that problem fixed and not having to revisit that situation. If your body does come back to that situation, you'll be able to recover much quicker and much faster. So remember, respect your symptoms. Work with your body. Don't try to squish those things in their tracks. Don't create more interference in your body in trying to get yourself well. Till next time, have a blessed day.
Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please help more people in reaching their fullest potential and rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. For show notes and other free resources we mentioned today, go to newedgewellness.com.